to the GameKraft GameKast on thegameraccess.com. I'm your host, Franz Fiore, joined by
Anthony Top.
And John Macaluso. What's up, everyone?
John. I believe this is your first GameKast.
No, it isn't.
You are right, my good sir.
No, this isn't, because he was on it 2 years ago, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay, so he was a guest.
Yes.
But this is his first one as a staff.
Wow,
Yes.
That's interesting, huh?
Yeah. The more you know, knowing is half the battle. Okay,
What battle
so
are we talking about here?
I don't know. The battle to keep this podcast alive.
Well, it's a battle we are winning, because it's back to being weekly.
Yeah, instead of just whenever the fuck we wanted to do it.
Yeah, well.
So, I guess we should talk about what we've been playing. Anthony Ta,
Yes.
what have you been playing?
Not much, really. Nothing really new. Well, I could talk about game night. So, like 2 nights ago, brought Smash over for game night, and at the start, I kind of scared myself because I completely demolished everything.
Now
I'm
I
not
have to
joking.
ask,
I would be playing characters that I don't even know how to play, like Jigglypuff, and I would still win.
What now? Was Ray here when this was happening?
No, he wasn't.
Okay, I want to see a match between you and Ray really bad. I also want to see one between you and Joe, because Joe wrecked everyone during 60-minute access. So, anyway, continue.
But yeah, there was that. That's about it, really. Just Smash
All right.
Brothers, and there's nothing really new.
All right, John, what have you been playing past week?
I've been catching up on Monster Hunter 3. Warming up for the new one coming out. But
I've heard good things about that demo. Do
oh
tell.
man, it's fantastic. It's so good. That, and I finally got Rogue Legacy earlier this morning, and it's awesome.
I fucking love that game on the PC, and I just keep delaying getting it on the Vita because I'm broke or I want to spend that money on like food or other things or other games even. Like that. Yeah, I really liked Rogue Legacy. How many generations are you in?
I don't even know, man. Like 15, 20 maybe.
Yeah, so you're a decent amount in then. That game I feel is really perfect for the Vita. Like that game fits so well on that system.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what I've been playing on. After wiping off the 2-inch layer of dust.
Hey man, I've been playing on it like every day, but I have an hour and a half bus ride, so that kind of changes things. I like Rogue Legacy. I think it's a really interesting game. It actually made me kind of get into roguelikes. Like I wasn't into Spelunky. I wasn't into other roguelikes like that, but that one I really got into.
I like it. It's pretty awesome.
It has a great sense of humor. That the whole inheriting different traits like colorblindness and whatnot.
Yeah, it's definitely creative. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else besides Rogue Legacy and what was it? The other one? Monster
Put
Hunter?
in my first little bit of First Light.
Oh yeah, that game. I feel as though it feels like it feels like exactly what it is, an add-on versus being a full game. So, but Neon was always my favorite power, so I'm actually having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really too interested in Fetch.
Really, I thought Fetch was kind of a cool character. Like, I think that they could do some interesting things with her. It's just that all the characters she's surrounded with right now so far have been really dull. Like, I'm only an hour in. How far are you in the story?
Not that far. Probably half an hour to 45 minutes.
Have you met the creepy dude who's helping you find your brother?
Yes.
Yeah, that guy is the most annoying motherfucker on the planet.
Yeah, I can't stand his voice.
Yeah, it makes me want to gym needles into my ears. I guess I'll go to what I've been playing. I've been tooling around with Madden Online just because we got that tournament on the 15th of February, and I want to be ready. And man, I played 2 games yesterday that could not be more opposite. One, I was down 21-0 and ended up losing 35-28. I was really disappointed. And then another one that it was 30-7 at halftime. He's driving down the field, he gets in the red zone, and then he fumbles, and I get the ball, and then he quits. I hate it when that happens. I was like, come on, I wasn't going to route the score that bad. You never know, you could have turned it around. I could just get cocky and start throwing picks. So I've been playing Madden. I put some more time into WoW, which we'll save for a different podcast. And then what else? I think.
You played the wonderful 101, and we just watched some boss fight awesomeness happen.
Yeah, so John,
I have to buy that game now.
Yeah, John, you missed a really you weren't there from when we recorded Super Mega Awesome Go Playtime this week, and you fucking picked the worst possible week to miss so far. We fought a fucking giant robot Hydra. Well, first we chased it down in a pirate airship. Then we got on it and fought it. And then we fought that same alien from the baseball field on top of this giant Hydra. Then we're trying to destroy it as we're falling off. Dude, it was fucking crazy. It was mind-blowing. So good.
But wait, there's more. We met a prince.
We met an evil alien prince who is kind of like a rich snobby kid, and he has all the powers we have, like Unite Gun and Unite Hand and Unite Sword.
It wasn't just that either. The music.
The fucking, he played, music you would hear in, 18th century
It's
Britain.
like the same kind of music you would hear in Valryo and Dragon Age. That would be one way of putting it.
I really need to buy
rich,
this
pompous
game.
stuff.
You do. Wonderful 101, dude. I'm so glad. Like I said, I've got to this part before, and I've gotten up to the point of Wonder Pink, but that's the furthest I would always get. And being forced to play more of it through a Let's Play and actually finish it, fucking love this game. So good. Yeah, Wonderful 101's cool. I started another playthrough of Ocarina of Time.
That is crazy because I did as well.
I started because I want to try and get another playthrough done before Majora's Mask is out. I'm not sure if I will finish it. I just became Adult Link. Just when the temple came out, I thought, hey, I'm going to save and call it for now. I'm really looking forward to Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask has always been one of my favorite Zeldas. Just because it's so different. I find that the Zeldas everyone likes are Ocarina, Link to the Past, but I like the weird ones that have kind of cult followings like Majora's Mask and Wind Waker. So I don't know. And I gotta say, there are parts of Ocarina of Time that just I love that game, but almost what is it, 15, 17 years? Yeah, it's 17 years later at this point. Some parts of that game piss me off real bad. No. But first off, that fucking owl. Oh my god. Navi constantly nagging me anytime I want to go off the beaten path. It's I want to go fucking do this random thing. Navi's like, no, dude, go to the mountain. No, dude, go to the mountain.
It's like a GPS. It's like a GPS that when you insist on going the wrong way, but you didn't tell the GPS to shut, it'll keep telling you to reroute or recalculate and turn right now, no turn left now, and it won't change. It won't shut up until you say cancel.
Yeah,
but Navi does not cancel. It's a GPS that never shuts up about the fact that you have a destination with a giant marker on Death Mountain and you can't get rid of it.
That was kind of annoying. Overall, I still really like Ocarina of Time. It's not my favorite Zelda. It's in the top 5 though for sure. There are just things about it that irritate me.
Having played it, I think it's it didn't age that much. And that could have something to do with the fact that Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword just kind of use that same familiar type of design, which is why it doesn't feel like it aged that much. But it didn't age that much. I mean, there were like some really antiquated stuff, like the saves. Yeah.
If you save in a dungeon, you go to the start of the dungeon.
That still is a thing in Twilight Princess, and I think Skyward Sword also. Yeah,
and Wind Waker too. Fuck, that's terrible.
I mean, in Twilight Princess, they made it better by saying, "Hey, you get this little guy that can poof you out of the dungeon. You can save and then use the guy to poof back where you started." But that's kind of like, well, that just kind of felt like some code that they recycled from Ocarina of Time, except slightly improved.
Yeah, that came off as really lazy instead of just being able to save anywhere. In fact, I think that like Zelda moving forward, especially if they're going to be a more traditional open world experience, you definitely should be able to fucking save anywhere.
In Dragon Age, you can save anywhere you want as long as you're not fighting something.
That's most open world games now.
Yeah.
Like if I'm playing, like Infamous. I've been playing that Second Son DLC or that add-on, that weird side game, and you can save anytime. And just like a game like that, you need to be able to save anytime, and not be warped to the front of the dungeon. I don't know. I have different problems with all Zelda games, like even my favorites. Like I'm gonna skip Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 because they're like so fucking old and like weird. That's kind of hard to. It's easy to badmouth them. A Link to the Past, I feel, is really bad at telling you where objectives are. Versus Ocarina of Time, which kind of tries to make you stay on its linear path too much. Wind Waker has that awful fucking Triforce quest that makes that makes you want to fucking kill yourself. It's not as bad in Wind Waker HD, but it's still fucking horrible. Twilight Princess is so fucking slow in the beginning. It takes 4 fucking hours to get to the first dungeon. 4 fucking hours.
But you gotta build character, they say.
And not
How
only
about
that,
being a wolf? Good God, that's terrible.
That wasn't that bad. Like, I like the platforming stuff with the wolf, at least.
Like, the wolf stuff had so much potential, but you just kind of couldn't help but feel they could have done more, but they didn't.
I think one of my problems with that game also is, do you guys remember the beetle hunting? Like, where you had to go fucking hunt those twilight bugs to get out of the dark.
Maybe
that was the first thing I was thinking of when I said.
Yeah, like that shit was horrible. It was poorly designed. It was a shitty scavenger hunt, and it nearly ruined that game for me. Like, I was so excited for Twilight Princess. It was the reason I bought a fucking Wii, and I enjoyed every part of that game except all the lead up to the first dungeon and those parts where I had to hunt for those fucking beetles. The dungeons in that game are amazing. The combat is great. It looked great at the time. It has this really cool, epic feeling world. All the side quests were a lot of fun. The world itself feels kind of lifeless, but like not the worst thing in the world. But I really like Twilight Princess for the most part. It's just they need to learn how to pick up the pace. And in Skyward Sword, they increase the pace and make it more interesting from a narrative standpoint, but that game is cursed because it is linked to Wii Motion Plus. And when it works, it is awesome. When it doesn't work, it makes me want to say, fuck this game forever. And that's the whole reason I didn't beat that game. Like, John, what was your opinion on Skyward Sword?
I thought Skyward Sword was okay. I didn't think it was.
You didn't think it was what? You cut out.
I didn't think it was amazing, and I didn't think it was terrible either. I would take most of the older. I'm thinking of like the top view. I would take all of those probably.
John, you're cutting out a little bit. You might want to move your mic a little closer to your face. Skyward Sword to me, like, I like its music. I don't like how I've gotten to see the later parts of that game, and the fact that you have to retread through that forest area again, and that fire area again, that desert area again, but with different equipment and a different style, like that didn't really appeal to me. And like once again, that fucking controls, like that. Ugh. And then A Link Between Worlds is awesome. I just don't have enough time to finish it. So, like from what I played in that game, I really like it. Even the Repo Bird, I really like that idea of John. Now we're getting echo from you. God damn it. Hello. Okay. Anthony, what are your thoughts on Skyward Sword and?
I've already mentioned it quite a lot of times. Skyward Sword is the closest to a perfect game I've ever played. It's tied with The Last of Us, which I don't really bother explaining to people because no one's going to understand, because I don't know a single person on this planet who shares the opinion I have. I don't know why. I mean, but here's the thing. Skyward Sword, I thought just about everything about it, with the exception of maybe two things I can remember. One, Link looks kind of awkward. He looks great in concept art, but he's kind of a little awkward-faced in the game. Two, I wish they could tune the controls a bit more. Because, I'm not joking, I remember this one boss fight in the water dungeon, which isn't surprising. It's the water dungeon.
The only water dungeon that was ever good was Twilight Princess. That's the only one.
In Skyward Sword, like, freaking, when the controls work, they're freaking amazing, but they need more fine-tuning, because sometimes you would tell it to do one thing and it wouldn't do it, or sometimes you have to constantly center the Wii Motion Plus, so you needed more fine-tuning in the controls. But personally, I just thought, I love the music, I love the pacing, I love just about everything about it. It's even kind of funny, so...
I wish that game would have given...
I'm going to interrupt for a second. Can you guys hear me okay? No feed, or no... I can't think of the word. Anyway,
you're good now. You're good now, yes.
Alright, cool. Continue. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that game, I love the presentation and the music. I like a lot about... I like how they improved the Zelda narrative in a lot of ways. But just, like, I wish that game had a classic control option. Like, I wish they would just say, you know, like...
Well, like, you know how it was. After Twilight Princess, everyone was like, oh man, 1-to-1 sword combat, and I just kind of felt like Skyward Sword is probably the only time you will ever see that happen.
That and Red Steel 2.
So they might as well
go like, 2 was actually a good game.
Like, in the case of the Wii U Zelda game, I don't know if they're going to stick with it. They said they're going to stick with it, which, judging from how everyone else reacted to Skyward Sword, could be a hit-miss kind of thing. But... you know, what if you don't have a Wiimote or a nunchuck to play Zelda game? I mean, it could just be like...
They have to have an option for it now. Like, they have to have a classic option.
Yeah. Because, you know, Wii U's don't come with Wiimotes and nunchucks. And obviously, if it's a Zelda game, you kind of don't want to... You don't want to force everyone to buy a peripheral for it.
Unless they bundle it in with the game, and that would be the kind of shit...
But even then, that's kind of... Yeah, but that just makes it more expensive. But... you know.
So fucking, they don't care. They're gonna sell 1 billion copies because it's Zelda. They know. They fucking know. Like that. Don't you know? Like it's like how that Wiimote. But how much was that fucking limited edition bundle they did for Skyward Sword?
It was $80, I think.
Yeah, that's like $30 more.
It came with a Symphony of the Goddesses soundtrack CD and the Wii Motion Plus and the Wii Motion Plus. The special painted Wii Motion Plus controller, which I had to get because I had a regular Wiimote. And I wasn't going to go out and pay for a stupid attachment for it.
Same. That is my one Wii Motion Plus, is that gold Zelda one.
Yeah.
Man. That, ooh. I don't know, like... Skyward Sword... I feel that with the next Zelda, they need to do exactly what they did with A Link Between Worlds. Like, I liked a lot about that game. I really liked the whole fact that, like, if you're willing to go farm up enough fucking gold, or not gold, sorry, different game. If you're willing to go farm up enough rupees, you can have all the items at the start of the game. You know, and just go, like, once you get past those first 3 dungeons, and you have all the items, you can go to them in any order, explore them in any way, and you have all these items to explore. That was such a cool idea. I hope they continue that. That was a fucking awesome idea. Like, okay, yeah, we're gonna make you do these first 2 dungeons and get into the Dark World. But once you have that, you can buy all the items and just do them in any order and explore in any order. That was fucking genius. Even if Repo Bird is the most annoying shit ever.
Yeah, I went out and got enough money to say, I'm buying this so you don't take it back. Peace.
Yeah, that was also nice. The fact that, like, okay, I'm gonna make sure, like, you can actually buy it after a while. But even then, I don't know. Joe, what was your
Hello?
constraints?
Yeah, well, it's probably time to go back to it then because that game is fantastic. It's I actually am one of the few people on the planet that I think prefer the D ones, but that one is like that one and the Link to the Past are fucking phenomenal. But kind of like adding on to what you were just saying about kind of having the freedom after the first couple dungeons to buy what you want, pretty much. Um, Man, that's awesome. And it's really, really rare too when I want to explore, especially in a Zelda game, but that was one of the ones where I did explore.
Yeah, for me in games in general, which that's one reason why I really like that game is normally in games like exploration, I'm just like, fucking whatever. Yeah, like it's never like I want to go out of my way to explore. Like that, the list is so limited for games where I want to do that. It's like Mario games, Infamous, Warcraft, and like maybe a handful of others. Versus that game where like I really enjoyed exploring. And like, Aaron brought up this point, years ago during the Game of the Year awards when we talked about that game. It was just like he found that you could go play baseball just randomly. Like, that was really cool. I hope that the new one's that way. Like I hope the new one is like, here, Link can buy all these fucking items right from the start, and you can just kind of go do the dungeons out of order in any way you want. Oh, Anthony, you bought Mario Galaxy 2.
Oh yeah, I did. I haven't played it yet.
You should get on that. The game is so fucking good.
I will once I clear out my work log, including a future video review. Ooh, exciting.
Yeah.
It's for a game that already came out months ago, so yeah.
I have not played Mario Galaxy. I have not played Mario Galaxy 2.
You should have bought it when it was on sale. So here's my opinion. John, you know how you think The Last of Us is the best game of the previous generation of consoles?
Yes.
That is how I feel about Mario Galaxy 2. That game is fucking perfect in every single way.
So is it not on sale anymore? What is the price on it now?
$20.
Okay, because the reason I didn't get it, actually there are a few. Of course, the stuff coming out February.
Dude, February is fucking crazy. Like this year, it's a really good February. The Order, Majora's Mask, Monster Hunter. So.
Yeah, and then the new 3DS. So yeah, that's one reason, and then the other reason is because I'd prefer to buy the Metroid Prime trilogy, which is supposed to be coming out sometime within the next few weeks.
So Punch-Out's the game on sale now, which I would recommend to people who like that style of game. I really enjoyed Punch-Out. The thing is, I already owned Mario Galaxy 2 and I already owned Punch-Out, so that's why I chose to get Metroid Prime. That said, when you have the cash, definitely pick up Mario Galaxy 2. That game is phenomenal. I loved every minute of it. I think the beginning of it's a little too easy, but that's pretty much my only complaint. Like, I wish they would have started giving me the hard stuff a little sooner.
Okay.
But
yeah, I'll probably just get a physical copy off of Amazon or something.
Yeah, like that game has to be cheap now. It's 5 years old this May. Yeah, I remember when I reviewed that game and I was like, "This is a 10. This is one of the 10s. It's one of the few 10s I have given, but it is a 10." Yeah. So, Punch-Out's. Oh, I actually played some old school games over the weekend because I got paid Friday, and I decided, I want to get these last couple of Club Nintendo coins. I'm gonna go download some Virtual Console games. So I bought Mega Man X for $8. and I got past the first level and got to the first boss, and then promptly remembered how unbelievably fucking hard Mega Man is. Then I went back to some other virtual console games I had on the system. I was like, well, it's been a while since I've played these. I'll tool around with them. Super Mario World, great game, love it. Super Mario Brothers 3, still another great game. Put a little more time into A Link to the Past, actually. And I'm starting to be of the opinion that the Super Nintendo was the fucking greatest console ever made. Because it's almost 20 years later, and all of those games still hold up and still play like they are brand new games. So.
Cool.
Yeah, kind of on the old game spec, not quite Super Nintendo, but I've had Suikoden 2 since it came out on the PlayStation, since they re-released the PlayStation Classic. I am a huge fan of the Suikoden series, and I have not played the second one.
So I heard about those games. I heard they were really good. I have actually never played them.
Yeah, well, it's like, I mean, I don't really blame you, because for some reason Suikoden is like swept under the rug, as you know, a lot of people talk about Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, and stuff like that.
Chrono Cross, like
yeah.
Like on my Vita, I have a couple of PS1 games downloaded, and I want to finish other RPGs before I move to Suikoden, because I want to finish Final Fantasy 9 because I started to play through that, and going back to that game 10 years since I originally beat it, I'm starting to think that game is the best PS1 Final Fantasy. So, and I just realized I just made every single Final Fantasy VII fan want to burn my house down. And the other one is Chrono Cross, because Anthony and I did a Let's Play of Chrono Trigger, and it instantly became both of like one of our favorite games of all time. We both love that game to death. And we go and that game is the pseudo sequel, spiritual successor to Chrono Trigger, and I've just been wildly interested in it ever since. And I love the music. Like, I've been to several performances of the Video Game Symphony, and they've played that game. They played music from that game every time. It's been awesome. So. John, you
Yeah, Chrono Trigger is my favorite JRPG of all time. Closely second would be Final Fantasy VI.
Let's see. Mine are Persona 4, Final Fantasy X, and Chrono Trigger. Those are the top three. So Final Fantasy VI is up there for sure. It's really close.
What about you, Anthony?
Top 3 Square Enix games?
JRPGs.
Yeah, JRPGs.
JRPG. Oh, that's a hard one. That's really hard, because freaking you look at my room and it's like JRPGs everywhere. What do I choose? If I pick one, I'm gonna forget another one. Favorite JRPG. I was almost gonna say Fire Emblem, but that's a strategy RPG. It's a Chrono Trigger.
Really good though.
Oh yeah, it's really awesome. It's kind of cool that Awakening was as good. It was pretty awesome that Awakening was as popular as it was, because I was really concerned that Fire Emblem would not come back. Or I was thinking that.
Well, it definitely came back with a bang, man. That game is awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. Final Fantasy. Sorry, not Final Fantasy. Chrono Trigger. What else are JRPGs? Pokemon.
Pokemon is a JRPG.
Pokemon Emerald.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
And Pokemon Emerald. That's back when the Ruby Sapphire. That was back when Hoenn was actually hard. So you didn't have your EXP share stuff. And maybe Final Fantasy IV. I didn't really play that many old school JRPGs. I mean, the only one is Final Fantasy IV DS. That's the one I have. So that's all I can think on top of my head right now.
I remember playing Final Fantasy 3, not Final Fantasy 6 America, but regular Final Fantasy 3, like getting past the tutorial, getting out into the open world. I walk 10 feet and I fight like a level 80 dragon. And it's like, yeah, I'm done.
It's like, you shall fight against the darkness, and your character's thinking, yeah, if that's the darkness, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he runs without your permission. All right, guys, I'm bouncing.
Oh, you're leaving?
Peace.
No, I was talking about the
Oh
game.
shit! Oh, I was like, what?
But if you guys want me to go that bad,
no, we want you here. We want you in this show with us. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I really liked a lot of. I like a lot of the older Square games. I like a lot of Atlus's newer stuff. NIS's newer stuff is pretty solid. Yeah, so oh no, I think that's all we've been playing. Anything worthwhile happened to you gentlemen the past week you'd like to discuss?
Um.
no, my life is boring.
Yeah.
Your life is boring, just nothing worthwhile.
I mean,
happened?
with the fireworks and kabangs and kabooms with the Game of the Year stuff, January, crickets.
Yeah, like it's really hard to come off like the high that is that constant review, like from like early October until like the second week of January. TGA is so unbelievably busy with games that are coming out and the holidays and Game of the Year stuff and just every we have a panel. We had a panel at SnafuCon. There are a couple of birthdays in there even. Just everything is on fire, and then now it's just tame. So calmed down. Yeah, like that's I guess we'll talk news then. Is having a flash sale that ends before this is posted. Son of a bitch. Never mind. Well then,
TGA GameKraft GameKast, your number one source for outdated gaming news.
For things that are ending right when this is posted.
Yep, this ends the day after.
I mean,
posted.
everything starts and ends on like Tuesdays, right? Like games come out on Tuesdays for the most part, except Nintendo. They like to put stuff out on Sundays actually.
And Fridays.
And Fridays.
Both days are really weird.
Fucking Ruby Alpha South. I mean, Friday's the greatest day because when you're in grade school, it's your Friday. Yeah. TGIF. Go buy stuff.
Yeah, like that's actually something that always irritated me as a kid. Games coming out on Tuesdays. It's so annoying. Like, oh man, this game comes out on Tuesday. Well, I guess I will play like an hour of it each day until this weekend where I can finally have the time to play it. Now I'm a grown ass adult that works a Monday to Friday schedule, so that still hasn't changed. Great. So PAX South has happened this past weekend. PAX South. It's the PAX in the South, San Antonio. And there have been some news from it. Randy Pitchford, one of the lead heads over at Box, has hinted at the announcement of Borderlands 3.
Ooh, I'm so surprised. It was gonna happen. It's just gonna happen.
Anyone else have commentary for this one?
No.
Okay, great. More Borderlands news. The Handsome Collection, which you guys talked about this on Unscripted. It is Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel and all the DLC on one disc for the PS4 and the Xbox One. So there's that. Guild Wars 2 is getting an expansion called The Heart of Thorns, and I actually have a friend who works for that company who worked on that. So, that's neat. I kind of want to try it now just because of that. Anthony, any thoughts on that Guild Wars expansion?
I have never played Guild Wars, so I have no clue.
Great. All this news from PAX is so great.
Interesting.
Lots of indie game news. Borderlands, the Handsome Collection will have 4-player split screen instead of 2, so that's nice. Hotline Miami 2 Wrong Number is coming. Randy Pitchford discussed the idea of bringing the original Borderlands to PS4 and Xbox One. And news about PAX in general. PAX South has beaten attendance records for a first-year PAX show. The San Antonio-based event first announced at last year's 2014 PAX East in Boston, beat out the first PAX East and the first PAX Australia for the biggest PAX launch. It didn't sell out immediately like its sisters, but it is still one of the biggest with 120 exhibitors.
What's the attendance number?
Does not have a solid number. That is going to come soon.
Okay. It's just like you can have. Yeah, it's just like we're gonna put another PAX in the south and a PAX in the other side of the ocean, on the other side of the world, literally, I should say. Nah, still sold out.
Well, so PAX Australia makes sense to me because when I went to PAX in 2012 and 2011, PAX Australia didn't exist and there were a bunch of fucking Australians there. So to me, that just makes complete fucking sense. And I'm glad that they are doing more of these. I think they've said they're at capacity now. I think everyone should be able to go to at least one PAX, and not working a PAX, I mean attending a PAX. Like going to it and being a fan there, because it's an amazing experience. I think it's awesome. Well, John and Anthony, I encourage you guys that 1 year, take that time off. Don't go as TGA, just go as fans and have fun. It's an amazing experience. So Anthony, I know I've gotten your opinion on PAX before. John, what's yours?
PAX is awesome.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't really have to say anything past that. I mean, I would go in a heartbeat if I could.
Yeah, I mean,
I would go to all of them, even Australia.
We're not having the fucking fuck go to Australia.
I'd go to Australia and I'd eat a kangaroo.
I would eat a kangaroo if I went to Australia. You would eat kangaroo while at panels. Just kangaroo on a stick. Just everywhere you go.
Yeah. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, there you
Portable.
go. You can just go, go to those concerts. There's actually a band from PAX I think you would like, honestly, and that's Metroid Metal. They do metal versions of all the Metroid music.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I know John listens to only metal. So.
Meanwhile, in the complete opposite end of the spectrum, Anthony's sitting down enjoying some quartet music of some Zelda themes. I mean, seriously, yeah.
or MC Front a lot, because he goes to all
Bronson, you're at MC Front a lot, which is sort of original stuff.
I'm at the Giant Bomb panel, good sir. That's where I am. That panel, I watch those panels when they get posted to the internet. That's how good they are. And every year they just get fucking crazier. I don't know how they keep, they just keep upping the ante of stupidity.
That sounds a little worrying.
Well, I mean, at this last one, they had people fucking wrestling. So, I mean, I don't know how much you get dumber than that.
Okay, is it proper kind of entertainment, or is it just everyone's throwing fireworks in the air, let's just make this as weird as possible, no restrictions whatsoever?
It's proper entertainment. They discuss games and it's a really intelligent podcast, but at other points it just turns. I remember a couple of years ago when Quinn and I went, Jeff ran to this long rant on pennies. So, and then another moment that stood out in my mind about those panels. Oh my god, I'm trying to remember which one it was. But talking about the podcast 2 weeks beforehand about how Ryan was talking about how he would drink breast milk, human breast milk, for $100. And someone actually brought a small thing of human breast milk, and Jeff pulls out of his jacket $100 bills, and Ryan drank it. And it's just, and then it just gets fucking crazy. It's weird. Um. So anyway, I don't know. If you guys could go to one PAX, which one would you go to?
Anthony, you get firsties.
What do you mean if I could go to one PAX? Like which location?
Yeah, South, Prime, East, or Australia?
Oh, I go to Prime. That's like the PAX Prime. That's
Yeah, I
the
agree.
PAX. That's like where Penny Arcade is.
Yeah,
Because I totally can afford to fly all the way to Australia, and I totally want to fly all the way down to the south, or I want to fly all the way to the east. First off, it's closest.
Yeah,
Like you could fly there literally 2 hours.
You know, I wouldn't like. I actually want to check out Boston as a city, though. So I would one day like to go to PAX East. That PAX East tickets actually sell out of the course of a week, versus an hour. It's getting more and more ridiculous to get into PAX Prime. Just it's fucking insane. Yeah, I don't know. I really like the city of Seattle, so that's why I would choose Prime. But like, I think next year I might actually go to PAX South because flights to Texas are relatively cheap, and it's in January, so I actually like it's coming off my busy season, so I have a little bit of cash, and I don't know what. Uh, okay, so I guess that's that. Um, Anything else that you guys want to talk about coming off of PAX South?
The news seems a little tame, but I guess it's because PAX is like a gathering of gaming culture instead of a gathering of corporations. So
Yeah, like
that's the difference between like E3 and PAX. E3 it's a business. I mean, yes, you got all the big news, you get stoked for it, but when I went to E3, there's parties, but that's like corporate parties. But at the end of the day, you're there for business. You're there to, if you're an exhibitor, you're showing the latest new games and you're showing all these media people why your game is awesome and why they should give your game attention. As the media, you have the responsibility of telling the general gaming audience what games you played, why they should consider this game, what it's about, what's cool about it, and developers get to reach out to the audience. But it's not we come here to party. No, PAX is we as gamers go out to party.
Yeah, like that's so. After finally going to an E3 and going to PAX and experiencing both those events, I know so many people are like, I one day want to go to an E3, and I'm like, no, you don't. You want to go to a PAX. That's what you want to go to. Because E3 at the end of the day is it's work. It's fun work, but it's work. And even then, like, even if you just went there as an attendee, it's not as fun as a PAX. Like, yeah, you get to see more new stuff, and there's the announcements, and those press conferences are crazy. But but a PAX it's a lot more fun because PAX just feels like a giant if you're in Seattle, 4-day party. Like they John, I know I've told Anthony about multiple PAX traditions, but you know of none of them. There's this thing that happens every single year, the Thursday before PAX, called the Tri-Wizard Drinking Tournament. And it's just where people bar hop in Seattle and have this just giant drinking competition.
Okay, so that's the kind of partying where I personally feel is you guys are just being stupid now instead of actually having, normal fun.
Yeah, but still, like that. But that's
because then you're gonna be too drunk to even enjoy PAX properly the next morning.
Dude, the first time, like that Thursday night of my first ever PAX, like, first off, I was shot. Like Seattle just floored me because I forgot that everything there closes at 2 a.m. And then I also forgot that God, what was it? Like I forgot that like our hotel was on the 3rd floor. So I didn't drink at all that night, but I did end up getting like stomach sick off of this food I ate. And my hotel room had a window that didn't have a screen, so like I didn't want to wake anyone up in the next room because our hotel room kind of like had two conjoined rooms with the bathroom in the middle. So I just opened the window and puked out of the window. I didn't want to wake anyone up. and like I woke up the next morning and looked at what was outside our window, and it was a construction site. So like some poor construction worker just like got to his job and saw like vomit just rained all over it. Oh, I felt so bad. Um, yeah, that first PAX was weird. Like I fell asleep during the Michael Pachter panel, and Game Trailers caught it on camera. So that was fucking hilarious. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff about that first PAX that was a lot of fun. Halo Fest was part of the first PAX. Yeah. I don't know, guys. If we're not covering it, we should try and go to PAX this year. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, let's talk about that as it nears closer. If we're not covering it, because I'd totally be down for that.
Well, the tickets go on sale in April, so we'd
Assuming
have
you
to
can get the tickets.
Yeah, like we'd have to buy the tickets no matter what. If you want to get the tickets, what you have to do, you literally have to get Twitter on your phone to send you notifications, and set it so you get notifications from Penny Arcade. Like you follow them, make sure you get everything they tweet out. So like once PAX East ends, you make sure you check your phone every time you get a fucking notification from Twitter. Last year I could have got the tickets, but I didn't have the cash, and I thought, okay, well, if I'm going, I'm going as press. Yeah. It's a little bit of other news here. Killer Instinct Season 2's next character has been announced. It is called Golem. It is a shadow monster that is like it is a see-through shadow monster is what it looks like. I don't know, it looks really weird. No commentary on any of this, guys.
No, I don't really care. I mean, I can beat you with all of them, so.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll see how this next season goes.
It's gonna go the same as the first.
We only played one match.
We played like 3, and I beat you in all 3.
Okay. What? Hey, man.
Hey, this is what you sound like when we talk about Madden.
All right. This is true. This is true. See, now, I will say I actually do think you might win this game of Madden that we're doing for the Super Bowl, because we're going to be playing with those teams and their playbooks. So and I think that you like the way I play is so adjusted to the way the Broncos are in real life. Versus like I'm gonna go into the Seahawks. Like I've played 2 matches with the Seahawks to kind of get a handle on them, and I'm just like I am so screwed.
If it makes you like any better, I haven't. Well, I haven't played with any team that's not the Chargers. So
yeah. Like, I will say one thing about the Seahawks that I did like when I got to try them is they have the option in their playbook. And I just love running that because it almost never works. But when it does, it almost always goes for like 40, 50 yards. So, anyway, moving on. So, Grim Fandango, are you gentlemen familiar with this game?
I'm not familiar with it, but I will be buying the remaster because I want to be familiar with it.
Okay, well, this is definitely one of the best point-and-click adventure games ever made. And it is coming out this week.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Comes out
We saw this at E3, right?
Yes, we did. I remember we saw Tim Schafer outside of the Sony press conference. You're like, what the fuck is he doing here? There's nothing from him coming out. And then they announced this. Anyway, it's coming out for Vita and PS4 this week, and it is cross-buy. So
nice.
Dying Light is also coming out this week, along with Life is Strange and Tesla Grad. So go and get those, I guess. God, this is fucking such a slow news week.
Yeah.
I mean, like Nintendo, like the week before, Nintendo had all that big news, and it all seemed really interesting. And now this week, like the news highlights are like, they are making Borderlands 3, as if you didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I swear, it's like It's like Bioware coming out and saying, there's a new Mass Effect coming soon, and I'm just like, well, duh. Ooh, man, you're telling me that Mass Effect was a one-off? I mean, oh man, it makes so much money, of course you guys will keep going with it. It's like them going out tomorrow and saying, we are indeed working on the next Dragon Age. No shit! That's like saying Nintendo coming out and saying, we're working on a new Zelda indeed. It's just like, guys, your franchises have been around forever and it makes so much money, of course it's gonna come out. What wouldn't work is when they come out and say... However, there are times when it's like, yeah, well, we're not going to give any news whatsoever that a new Burnout's going to happen.
Don't make me angry.
I was gonna say, are we gonna do this again?
I'm so done, so unbelievably done with EA's treatment of Burnout. Microsoft permanently dropped the Xbox One's price to $350. So there you go. We'll talk about it's the Assassin's Creed bundle. So if you want an Xbox One with no Kinect, go for it. Nintendo is getting rid of Club Nintendo. They're going to replace it with a new rewards program. Any product released before January or after January 20th will not be able to be registered. This is really fucking annoying because I'm 80 coins away and only intend to buy Donkey Kong, which means I need to get another 20 coins out of somewhere. And it's looking like it's gonna be Shovel Knight.
Heard good things about that game.
From what I got to try of it on my friend's 3DS, I really liked it. It reminds me a lot of all the really good NES games like Mega Man. I've also considered Paper Mario because you can get Paper Mario for the 3DS from GameStop for $10 new. Like they printed just way too many copies of that game, and they just have way so much overflow of it. So I think that's how I'm going to get to Platinum. How close are you guys to Platinum for this final set?
160 coins. Which means if I want to get Platinum, I'm going to have to go out and buy a new 3DS or something. Because I'm like it. Like, I'm going to buy Monster Hunter 4. Well, actually, that's a maybe. That's a maybe.
That won't count towards the coin. It's only games.
Yeah, none of that's going to count.
Well, then, what does count? Nothing? Just a bunch of digital downloads now?
Games released before January 20th. Hyrule Warriors, Mario Kart.
Well, then I don't have Platinum then. They're going to be like, because it's the last year, Platinum people get lots of cool stuff. Sorry, Gold Bimmers. And I'm just going to be like...
Well, you're buying Wonderful 101, and that's worth, I believe, 60 total. I know that comes with a code. You could get Mario U, and that would give you another 60. And then you could get 40 from Paper Mario. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to... Good luck to you.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking the same thing. I think I'm 200 points away.
Well, I mean, John, you can get Bayonetta 2, so that's...
Yeah, I'm thinking... Here's what I'm thinking. I'm actually not going to get Bayonetta 2 right away, having already played it. I'm thinking about getting the Wonderful 101, and then I still need to get Smash Bros. So I'm thinking those two, and then I guess throw Bayonetta 1 on top, or Bayonetta 1 and 2 on top of that. That should be enough, right?
Yeah, like for me, it's Donkey Kong, and then part of me just wants to fucking cave and get Hyrule Warriors. Like I think that game was fun enough for where like I don't want to spend the money on it. I don't know. We'll see. I know that supposedly, in fact, like I'm glad I've hoarded all my coins because after I registered Donkey Kong and whatever the other game I'm going to get is, I'll have 1,300 coins, and apparently they're going to have a lot of cool stuff coming in February. So I'm very glad that I hoarded all these coins for all this time. I started hoarding coins too when they put out this really awesome Luigi's Mansion figure, and I was like 200 coins short, and I was so mad. And that's why I just started said, fuck, I'm going to hoard coins for all eternity.
The end of Nintendo Club.
Yeah, so that's, I hope the new rewards program is just like this was, because this was an incentive for me to buy Nintendo games new. Like most companies, I'll just say fuck it and buy the used version and not really care. But this made it so for every Nintendo game, I made sure I bought it new. Like I know that's this is probably the best method of getting me to buy games new instead of used. So I really hope that other publishers take note of it. What about you guys?
Yeah, it is cool.
Yeah.
I do like Club Nintendo.
Yeah. So. Um.
Rip.
All right. So I guess that's the majority of the news. We got some questions, and then we are done. All right. So first question is: when was the last time a newer game became one of your favorites? Fairly recently, Bayonetta 2. Well, what about you guys?
One of my favorites. Well, how much of a favorite? Like a huge favorite.
One of your all time like one of your all time favorites was the context I got from it.
Ooh, if that was the case, that would be a long time ago. It would be like The Last of Us or Skyward Sword, something like that. Bayonetta 2 is awesome, but if you're talking about all time favorites, then ooh, yeah, it's a little while back.
So yeah, Anthony and Bronson, both of you guys can guess mine right away.
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. Yeah, that game's phenomenal. Everyone listening to this right now who hasn't played it, go buy it right now. Just stop. I'm sorry. Stop listening. Just go buy it. I don't care if it's 1 in the morning. I don't care if it's 5 in the morning. I don't care if you're at a funeral. Go buy it.
Whoa.
All right.
Yeah, it's sad if you haven't played that game.
I just like that's what I did on Black Friday. I just bought it and it just sat on my shelf. Did I play it? Nope. I have the save file still though, so I can see any chapter I want. But it's like, yeah, I can't just like borrow discs to play the save. I'm just gonna go buy the game. Specifically the PS3 version. I think it's more impressive on the PS3 considering how old that system is, and they managed to make it look that good on that old of a system.
Yeah, I really liked Last of Us. That game was awesome. I don't think it's one of my favorites, but I can admit that it is one of the best games of the previous generation for sure. So, next question is, oh god, why did I lean back in my chair? How come Nintendo doesn't get flack for re-releasing games and using the same franchises over and over?
Well, the difference is that reusing the same franchises over and over. The thing is that at least they took their time doing it. Yeah, because the last time we had a Zelda game was about this point,
2011.
3 years ago.
4 years ago. 4 years ago.
Over 3. No, it's over 3 years ago.
Yeah,
wait, for Zelda?
2014 recently happened. Skyward Sword came out in 2011.
Yeah, but what about A Link Between Worlds?
Well, you're talking console Zelda.
Yeah, console Zelda games.
Even then, that's still a 2 year
like before
difference.
A Link Between Worlds, there was like Spirit Tracks, I think, on DS.
Yeah. Which was
so even then, that was a while ago. But Nintendo takes their time with it. Like Smash Brothers, there was only one Smash Brothers game for the Wii. That's it. There was only one Smash Bros. Game for the GameCube. There's only one for the Wii U. Whereas, how many Call of Duty games have we seen on the 360? How many Halo games have we seen on the 360? Yes, they abuse. Yeah, you can say they reuse the same franchise over and over and over again. But so did everyone else, and they've done worse. Like every year is a Forza game now.
Way worse. Like you gotta think, we have had a Halo game every single year since 2009. I think the only year we didn't have one was 2013. Because 2009 we had ODST. Every year since 2007, actually. Because 2007 we had Halo 3. 2008 we had Halo Wars. 2009 we had ODST. 2010 we had Reach. 2011 we had the Halo 1 anniversary. 2012 we had Halo 4. 2013 we got a break, and 2014 we got the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, and then like franchises like Assassin's Creed, where there are 2 Assassin's Creed games in the same year.
Yeah, good God.
Well, like that's why. Like, how often do we like people say, "Oh, Mario's getting milked"? We saw. All right, 2000. All right, let's look at the Mario console game timeline for main series Mario games. Mario Sunshine, 2002. Mario Galaxy, 2007. Mario Galaxy 2, 2010. Super Mario 3D World, 2013.
Oh, is it 2012? Yeah, it's 2013.
Yeah, it's 2013.
Late 2013.
Yeah. All right, Mario Kart. Mario Kart Double Dash, 2003. Mario Kart Wii U, 2008. Or Wii, sorry. Mario Kart 8, 2014. Now, let's talk about Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 2007, Assassin's Creed 2 2009, Brotherhood 2010, Brotherhood 2010, Revelations 2011, 3 2012, Black Flag 2013, Unity and Rogue 2014. Call of Duty. This one's fun. This one's my personal
Call of Duty
favorite.
is the worst one.
Call of Duty is my personal favorite.
But it makes money.
All right.
I forget they broke into
2005. Call of Duty 2. 2006, Call of Duty 3. 2007, Call of Duty 4. 2008, Call of Duty World at War. 2009, Modern Warfare 2. 2010, Black Ops. 2011, Modern Warfare 3. 2012, Black Ops 2. 2013, Ghost. 2014, Advanced Warfare. And the first Call of Duty came out in 2003, so you only had a 1 year break between 1 in 2003 and 2 in 2005.
Not to mention the fact that they have been declining. Whereas, like Nintendo games always bring something new to the table. Like something new that kind of is a breath of fresh air usually. Whereas Modern Warfare has been, or Call of Duty has been the same thing since Call of Duty 4.
Like Call of Duty, like all the Call of Duty since 4 have just wildly varied in quality to me. Like World at War was terrible, Modern Warfare 2 was great, Black Ops 1 was okay, Modern Warfare 3 was fucking garbage, Black Ops 2 was fucking awesome, Ghost was horrible, Advanced Warfare was okay. Like it's like just the bar graph for quality of those is fucking crazy up and down. Versus the bar graph and quality of Nintendo games is just a line of like these are all 9s, 9.0s or higher. Occasionally you'll get a game that dips to an 8.5, but like you look at like main series Mario and the time that I've been playing them, like Mario Galaxy 9.5, Mario Galaxy 2, 10, Super Mario 3D World 9.5. Like it's just like they all hover around the same quality level with very few dips, and there's a longer time between. Then for their actual remakes, like Ocarina of Time 3D, Majora's Mask 3D, Star Fox 64, Wind Waker, they wait a long time. The Last of Us Remastered was an awesome game. It is the best version of that game, but it's a fucking year old. You played that game a year ago. I played Wind Waker 10 years ago. Kind of a big fucking difference. Majora's Mask is coming out next month. Majora's Mask is 15 years old. I'm sorry. There's kind of a fucking difference and amount of content being remade there. Anyone else?
No, that pretty much does it, man.
All right, great. All right, next one up is what are some of your favorite memories with the PSP?
I never owned one, so I can't.
So Anthony's favorite memory with the PSP is not having one.
Okay. John, what's your favorite?
So I actually have a couple.
Same.
One of them is just Peace Walker just the whole game. Man, that game is awesome. And secondly, I'm trying to think. Both God of Wars were pretty good. Especially that last boss fight in Chains of Olympus.
Chains of Olympus was the first one, right?
Yeah, Chains of Olympus
Yeah.
was first one. Ghost of Sparta was the second. But I mean, my first real experience with the PSP, I actually broke my PSP right when I opened up. Because when you unlatch it, you had to freaking click the top of it, and that broke like right away. So though I got the PSP on launch, I didn't actually get to play it for like a month after because of that.
So I didn't get the PSP on launch. I got a DS as a Christmas gift, and didn't want to save up the money for a PSP, especially because I wanted to use it as an MP3 player, and memory cards were stupid expensive. I didn't get my first PSP till 2007 when they were finally doing bundles. Let's see, some memories with the PSP. The fact that I actually owned a PSP Go at one point in my life. That was pretty hilarious. Uh, PSP Go was fucking awesome. People hate on the thing. The analog stick was way better. The screen may have been smaller, but it was of higher quality, and because it was smaller, the games looked better. Um, let's see. Oh, so my PSP 2000. Do you remember the PSP Slims? Did you ever have one of those?
I never had one, but I remember them. I've seen one and messed with one.
Okay, well, you know how they didn't have the like switch to open it, you just opened it?
Yeah.
Okay, well the sensor on those was linked to the plastic parts on the side. So when you closed it, those had to be pressed in or it wouldn't recognize it's closed to read a disc. Well, I dropped mine at the DMV and a little tiny bit of the plastic broke off. So it wouldn't recognize it anymore. I'm like, well, fuck. Now I just can play games digitally, I guess. But then I figured out if I get a little piece of tinfoil and make this like tiny corner just slightly bigger, it reads the tinfoil as part of the plastic and I can read discs again.
That's cool. That's probably a really good idea,
UMDs.
actually.
Yeah.
I remember like when the PSP came out, it was like kind of like one of those. This is a real gaming system.
Well,
look, PS2 quality games. Look, you can watch movies on it.
So let me talk about like I had an original DS. I had a PSP, and I love it. Like I'm gonna get people so mad at me for saying this. The original DS was a piece of shit. That thing was garbage. You know, like you play Game Boy Advance games, the jump from GBA to PSP is so fucking huge. The jump from GBA to DS is like practically non-existent, and like everything about it feels gimmicky. All iterations of the DS, the original DS, not the 3DS, but the original DS, feel cheap. You know, like fucking hinges break on those fuckers. Like just the regular original DS, the screen was garbage, and like the machine itself was just trash. You know, like ugh. And like people talk about all these great games for it, but like I didn't see them. Like I kept my DS around to play Animal Crossing and a couple other games, but the majority of the time I was on my PSP. So so anyway, as for other PSP memories, Guitaru Man. So John, have you ever heard of or played a game called Guitaru Man?
I have never heard of it.
Okay, so it's a game that was on the PS2. They got ported to the PSP, and you play this superhero called Guitaru Man. And basically, you fight off a bunch of evil aliens using your magical rock and roll guitar that turns you from an average boy into Guitaru Man. It's a rhythm game.
Huh. Oh, okay. Now I know where this is going.
It was awesome. It was a really good rhythm game. I want them to make another one, or at least put the original on the store to download, but they won't do it for whatever reason. It sucks because it's actually one of my favorite PSP games. The other one that I really like is Luminous.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Luminous is my favorite portable game ever. Like I love it on the PSP, I love it on the Vita. It's so good. It just feels so at home on both those systems. Like I can literally just play that game for fucking ever. Um, Last memory I have of the PSP is, or last kind of two, is my first PSP I got in that 2007 Daxter bundle because I was using a Creative Zen Nano as my MP3 player, but I got a PSP for my birthday in that Daxter bundle, and it came with a 1 gig memory card, so I started using that as my primary MP3 player. And then 4 GB cards for that thing became $20, and I was like, okay, great, I'm buying 2 of these. Um, and I remember just using it as my primary MP3 player.
Well, all right. Not, one of your big memories isn't even because it was a gaming system.
Did he cut out?
Did he leave?
Hello? Can you
I
hear me?
don't know. Just, there was a cut out. Hey, Bronson.
Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah, you cut off
Yeah.
mid-sentence.
Okay, what did it cut off at?
Something about music?
Yeah, actually, it cut off at a moment that could have been like a complete sentence. So
Oh, okay. Well,
we don't really know what you're gonna say after that.
Okay, well, so like for music, I used my PSP as my primary MP3 player from when I got it in 2007 until I got an iPhone in 2010. Like I had a PSP, and then later on I had a PSP Go, and then eventually I got an iPhone. And I was like, oh, okay, fuck using this thing for music. Yeah, and that's basically most of my memories with it. Just using it as an MP3 player and lots of really good games. Shame the Vita doesn't have as many good games as the PSP.
Yeah, no, nowhere near.
I mean, when you look at the PSP, it actually at least had sales numbers. Granted, some of those sales numbers are through questionable buyers.
Look, everyone bought a PSP to pirate video games, and not even PSP games. They did it to pirate Super Nintendo games. Let's be real.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I just remembered something. The PSP. Sorry, this is off topic of pirating and shit, but the PSP was the very first place I played Monster Hunter. It just clicked. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, that was the beginning of a very time-consuming relationship. A relationship that still haunts me to this day.
PSP, I remember using that thing like. That thing was like my everything portable media player. Like I used it as the web browser on it. I used the RSS reader to get all my podcasts on it. Like I was one of those very few people who used all the functionality of the PSP. Just like if that thing could do something, I tried using it for it. Because like I didn't want to go out and buy other devices, and then the smartphone came out, and I was like, oh well, now I just need a dedicated game system. And the 3DS wasn't a total piece of garbage like the regular DS, so.
No, well, the DS had good games. I don't know where.
I don't know a lot of DS
DS
games. I mean, well, here's the thing: cheap build quality, that I can agree with, because I had a DS Lite. Plastic, shiny, glossy, plastic galore.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, the DS Lite I think is still real much better than the regular DS, but yeah, the hinge, my hinge. I didn't use my DS that much. I didn't use my Lite that much at all. Like I barely used it ever. And then the hinge just started breaking. But things I loved about it, you could play Game Boy Advance on it. The battery lasted a really long time compared to the 3DS. What else? Well, it was N64 game quality, so graphics quality, and the touchscreen was kind of cool. I mean, playing Pokemon with the touchscreen, yeah, that was nice.
Man, I don't like. There were some games on it that were really cool. I liked Feel the Magic, Chrono Trigger. That's neat that it was on there. There are a lot of games on there that were kind of interesting and neat, but like. The vast majority of games for that thing to me just did not appeal to me. Like, neither of the Zeldas were all that good. Neither of the Marios were all that good. Mario Kart on it was awesome, so was Animal Crossing.
Here's like one of the things I know for sure about my DS is that it was the first time Pokemon games could go online, like legitimately go online. So Diamond and Pearl was huge, and freaking forums exploded and crashed and had to be so massively upgraded because everyone needed a place to exchange friend codes. So that was huge, and freaking voice chat. While the Wii didn't have a voice chat solution at the time, the DS the DS Lite did. It had a microphone.
I'm not super big on the original DS. Like I just did, I realize games are a matter of personal taste, but I was not, it wasn't for me. I guess most of the games on it. Real shame. There's a lot of people consider that to be one of the best game systems ever, and I just don't see it. So anyway, next and final question is, what do you think is the best console bundle you ever bought, and what do you think is the best console bundle ever, the one that got sold the most units? So like we're seeing more bundles nowadays, like and throughout all of gaming history, there have been like multiple bundles. Like the Game Boy had Tetris packed in. Like I remember that there was a Metal Gear Solid bundle when I bought my PS3, stuff like that. So what's your guys' take on what's the best bundle that you've ever had and the best one ever?
I don't think I've ever bought anything in a bundle except very, very recently. Because all my systems I bought, they weren't actually bundles. Like GameCube, that was not a bundle. Same with the Xbox 360, and then the Xbox 360 Elite, and then the PlayStation 3, and then the DS Lite, and the 3DS. And it wasn't until recently that I actually got my new game systems as bundles, which is the Zelda Limited Edition, Zelda Wind Waker Wii U bundle thing, and the Destiny bundle. And I can totally say that the Wii U bundle is more worth it because Destiny, the white color to PS3 is nice though.
My favorite bundle that I personally bought is probably that PSP bundle. Like I got Daxter, which was a great game. I got a memory card that I could actually use for media, and then it came with like 5 episodes of Family Guy, which that was kind of neat. What about you, John?
So yeah, the only bundle I've really ever bought was the Wind Waker one, like both of you. But as for like the best, like the one that looked the best, I would say the 360 had some really good, or I'm sorry, not the 360, the Xbox One had some really good bundles over this past holiday season.
I really liked the 360 Star Wars one. Like the game that came with it was shit, but that R2D2 360 looked awesome.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But I'm saying like the best bundle of all time had to be like Tetris. That sold so many fucking Game Boys. Are you kidding me? Like like packing in Tetris sold the fucking Game Boy. Like so many people love Tetris. My mother loves Tetris.
Tetris is awesome.
It is. What about you, Anthony? What do you think is like the best bundle to move consoles and most influential?
Industry wise, maybe the Wii Sports Wii thing. Oh yeah, that is a bundle, isn't it?
Yeah, Wii Sports counts.
Yeah, that is a bundle, isn't it? Yeah, so then I'll count my Wii. That would be the first time I got a bundle.
Oh man, what was my first bundle? I think my first bundle was I think it was the Wii also, because all my other consoles at that point just So, anyway.
Like Wii Sports, that was my only game for the Wii for like 2 months, and then Metroid Prime 3 came out finally.
I remember my Wii, like I got it with Super Swing Golf. My mom got for herself. It came with Wii Sports, and I bought Madden, and I bought Twilight Princess. And funny thing about my Wii is I got like super sick like a week after buying it. That was really a bummer. Like I was sick for like 2 weeks with the flu. It was the worst.
Oh.
Yeah, just did not go to school. Like definitely didn't want to play the Wii because it required movement. I felt like I was dying. Uh, so, all right. Well, John, what do you think is the best industry-wise, like of all time?
Oh, probably that Wii U as well. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, that
You
Wii
mean
bundle,
Wii?
man.
Yeah, well, it's the one that came with Wii Sports.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I mean you couldn't find that thing anywhere.
yeah. Like that thing. Wii Sports single-handedly sold the Wii.
Yeah, I mean I remember playing it at like at a school dance or something, but like other than that, I think after that I hadn't played it for a long, long, long time, and everyone was talking about it. Everyone was talking how they wanted to play it. It was mostly tennis, and like it was just crazy. I remember my dad really wanted one, but he couldn't find one anywhere.
Yeah, like my dad really, my dad was like the definition of like a casual gamer. Like there were a couple of systems in the house that were his systems. Like the PlayStation 1 was his. Like the Dreamcast was his. The PS2 was both of ours. And I remember um and I remember that like Wii Sports came out, and this is right after my dad hurt his back really bad. That would ultimately, like just he worked a very physical job. If you've ever done construction work or roofing, it just after work you just want to fucking sit in a tub of ice and commit suicide. And he just injured his back really badly, and like he saw the Wii and thought that is the coolest shit ever. Um, but like but he was also like very specific about his games. Like he nearly bought a PS3 because of MotorStorm because he loved dirt biking, and because he hurt his back, he couldn't dirt bike anymore. So like same thing with Madden. Like he loved Madden, he loved the F1 racing games. Basically, if it was sports or cars or dirt bikes, that was kind of games he was gonna buy. Rare exceptions, but yeah. Um. All right. Well, I think that's it for questions, unless you guys have any. Or we outlast one, or anything you guys want to talk about.
It's been slow.
Yeah. Apparently, you've had a flow problem this week. But we'll pick it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been the GameKraft GameKast. We'll be back next week with hopefully better stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
That's the end of it.
Well, we're on Twitter, Facebook, all that garbage. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. Go internet stalk us.
Please, we want to be stalked by you.
We do. Just hang outside our windows. We're cool with it.
Especially Anthony's.
I've already got a frog to worry about. Okay, please.
Everybody, go creep outside Anthony's window. I love how Anthony has these reactions to everything. Like we were talking about how like rooming pairings for E3, and we're talking about how like it's probably going to be me, you, and Bremen because I keep the room ice cold and Bremen doesn't care and you don't care, but Anthony doesn't like it super cold, so he's going to be in a room with Tori and Kyrie and Stephanie, who all like the room really goddamn warm, and I think Anthony said something how he doesn't want it to be that hot, and like it's just like, well,
Fremen just had to say it.
and Bremen's just like, well, that's why you'll work naked. It'll just be you on laptop, like covering your junk, and then just there you go, perfect.
Bremen.
Oh,
All right, Anthony. I just love your reaction to things like this.
yeah. You guys go ahead and laugh.
I don't know. I mean, I hung around our hotel room in my boxers. I mean, that's just the next logical step, right? Just laptop covering, your downstairs, and there you go. You'll work just like that. All right. I think that's it. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We'll be back next week. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good week.